we are. Exciting. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I feel like I want to say come and take your seat, but you probably are seated watching this, so it's just the actor in me. It's so lovely to have you here. We're so excited. This is our final MBM Live chats with the choirs. And tonight we have members from Parkinsong Voices, which is very exciting. So we have Michael and Valerie, and Em and I are going to be interviewing them. And yeah, introducing myself, sorry. And I'm Lucy, if you haven't already seen before. I'm the project manager for the virtual Christmas concert. It is taking place on Saturday, the 12th of December. So we've only got 9 days to go now on our YouTube account. And of course, Emily here, who's going to be interviewing as well, is the founder and director of Motivation by Music. So yeah, take it away, Em.
Yay! I'm just sharing on Facebook, so do give us a little comment or a like if you are there and you're tuning in. I can see Sarah is with us, and we've got Instagram going as well. Lovely. All right, well, Valerie and Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to hear you guys speak and tell us a little bit more about your experience of being with Parkinsong Voices. So we officially launched the Friday singing group in September of 2016, which seems wild now. I still remember the first day going into Binscombe Church Hall and thinking, yeah, this seems like a good location for it. Let's do it. We've been on such an amazing journey since then. So Valerie, when did you join Parkinsong Voices and why? What kind of led up to you joining us?
I'd heard some of your choirs sing at the Christmas teas, the summer teas and the Christmas lunch, and thought how well they sang. And I knew that there was Parkinsong Voices. And this is back in 2018, I suppose. And I was thinking, I'd like to join that, but it's described as a gospel choir. And I'm not gospel in any way, shape or form. So that put me off. But once I was assured by loads of people that it was just a fun general choir with a wide spectrum of songs, I thought, well, why not give it a try? So I came along and have come along pretty regularly ever since. And I wouldn't miss it now. It's a great part of the week.
Oh, that's awesome. So interesting. I've heard quite a few times. I used to be so true to the gospel choir, representing gospel choir. Like, that's my roots. That's what I love. That's what Lucy loves, and it is all in her blood. But yeah, I've been told quite a few times that both of those words can really put people off, gospel and choir, because it brings up a certain idea in people's heads that they think, oh, that's not for me, or I can't join that. But obviously we haven't put you off. You love it.
I do, and I never thought I could sing. But it doesn't matter in Parkinsong Voices. There's lots of people whose musical ability is shaky, to put it mildly, but we all have fun and we all enjoy it and we all give it a go. And that's the important part about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, we also sound pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Found some recordings of us singing along with the ukulele, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Valerie. So you've been with us for a couple of years. Michael, when did you join and why? What kind of led up to you joining Parkinsong Voices?
Well, I'm a recent arrival. I only arrived in about summer of this year, 2020. When I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, which was back in January of this year, I decided the best way to tell family and friends was just to post it on Facebook and just be out there and say, this is what I've got. And of course, Emily had seen my Facebook post and said, oh, I see you've got Parkinson's disease. Well, I've got just the thing. I run a choir called Parkinsong Voices. So she invited me to come and try. And that's what I did. So I've always been an online person. So my experience is only doing it online. So what I did was I tried a virtual rehearsal first. And I was a bit unsure, but I was intrigued by the whole idea of singing and somehow that would help with Parkinson's. And I noticed I felt good after the session. So being part of it, I just carried on and got drawn in deeper and deeper, and I've enjoyed it more and more as we've gone along.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's amazing. So neither you guys haven't actually met each other in the flesh.
No.
Complete kind of virtual fellow members, which is crazy. Valerie, can you just tell us a bit? So you were obviously with us when we were in person, and then obviously, you know, the majority of this year we've been online. How have you found that change?
Well, it's got good sides and bad sides. The cons obviously are that you can't have a good chat with people and have the complete social experience. But you're a star and you make it as possible as you can. Between songs, we'll go into breakout rooms and we have a little chat amongst ourselves, because the social interaction is so important. It's important for everyone, but Parkinson's is such an isolating condition that you do need to be able to talk and see people, and particularly people who know what you're going through. So that's the only real, that's a downside of virtual. But the upside is, well, you don't have to drive anywhere to get there for a start, so you can cut it very fine. Very fine sometimes. Yeah. But also, because you're the only person that can hear you sing, it can build your confidence. Because when you're in a room with other people, the people next to you can hear you. And if you don't think you're sounding particularly good, it can keep you quieter.
Yes.
So being on your own in a room, you can blast your lungs out, and that does improve your confidence. And no doubt it also improves the reason you're there, to improve your vocal cords, your lung capacity, muscle strength, the whole caboodle, because it's such a good exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael, you always put a smile on my face. You join in with all the actions with 100% enthusiasm. Is your house filled with the sound of your singing voice when we're in our choir sessions?
It's certainly filled with the sound of my singing voice. I don't know if people get the same feel-good factor as I get, but it certainly works as part of my therapy regime. So if they can hear it doing me some good, maybe they'll forgive the sound that comes out of the bedroom. but it certainly builds confidence and gives such a feel-good. Just coming and singing and being online and meeting all these people, and on one level you're just talking into a screen and singing into a screen, but on another level you could just feel the presence of people. And when we break down and go into our little chat rooms and have chats, and you can be as open or as guarded as you want. You know, if you really want to go deep and share stuff, you can do that. If you want to be just guarded and say, I'm here, hi, you can work at that level. And that's the wonderful thing about an online community. I think in some ways it sort of draws you in because you feel quite secure in your own bedroom.
Yeah.
And it allows you to participate in ways, you know, that you might not have done otherwise. And that's certainly been my experience, which again is the online experience, although I do take Valerie's point about the joy of being in rooms with other human beings.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's so good that you touched on, both of you obviously touched on, from a therapy aspect, you know, like building your lung capacity, obviously moving, actually being with people, that social aspect, so you're not kind of losing touch with feeling confident around other people, and all of these different things that choir enables you to do. Has there been like a moment, a stand-up moment, or when you did one of the recordings, for example, that really sticks with you during your time being a part of Parkinson Voices? Start with Valerie, sorry.
Oh gosh, where to begin? Both of these, I have three, I think. I'm going to have to cut. The first standout moment was just after I joined, and Em was offering free lessons, really, just for a quarter of an hour or so before we all met as a group. And I went along, and she heard me sing, and I've been told for donkey's years that I was out of tune. And Emily said, no, you're not out of tune. you're fine. You've got a wide range, you're fine. And that encouraged me to keep going. So that was a real standout moment, I suppose. Because up to then, the only person who enjoyed hearing me sing was my little grandson. And he enjoyed it, but then he has learning difficulties. So maybe his ears weren't hearing what other people's were. I don't know.
Oh.
And he loves some of the silly songs that we sing in Parkinson's, I have to say. The second standout moment was last year when we did the flash mob. That flash mob was fantastic fun. We were on Victoria Station. Emily started singing Spring of Life, and we all emerged from various parts of the station at various stages of the song, flung off our coats, revealed our t-shirts and joined in. And watching people's faces and their reactions, and then rattling the collection box afterwards, because although you're not supposed to rattle collection boxes, if you've got Parkinson's, you can't always help it. Even if you don't normally have a tremor.
No.
I felt
That's brilliant.
I felt particularly pleased at Flash Mob because I'd been part of bringing it about. I introduced Emily to the organiser. So I felt very possessive of Flash Mob, and I was so pleased to have done it. And I suppose the other standout moment was also last year when several of us abseiled Guildford Cathedral. And Sue, who I think is in Motivation by Music,
Yeah, MBM Gospel Choir.
Gospel Choir, said that she would do it for Parkinson's, although she is terrified of heights. So we went up as a threesome, 2 with Parkinson's and Sue, and we encouraged her and she encouraged us actually as well. And we all did the abseil. But because Emily knew that Sue was scared of heights and this was a real effort for her, she got some of the other choir members from various choirs, I think, to come and sing to Sue on her way down. And that was such a lovely gesture. And Sue was delighted. And it was just one of those moments that sticks in your mind. So those are my standout moments.
I've seen that photo quite a lot, a picture of the abseiling. I didn't realise it was actually people from our choir doing it, which is pretty cool. That's so awesome. Oh, that's so wonderful. And for you, Michael, obviously your time with us has been a lot shorter, but has there been a standout moment for you since joining Parkinsong?
Yeah, obviously personal because it's online, but there's a few times Em won't have noticed, but when I realised the limitations of my voice, and I've got quite emotional and noticed how low I'd sunk with it. So working through the process and coming to the virtual rehearsals and being told how to record stuff and actually being able to record a song and send it in was an absolute massive confidence builder for me. So a mixture of feeling sorry for myself and where I was, and then the absolute joy of being able to be led by hand to actually do the online recording was a massive confidence builder, a massive boost when I actually finished that recording and was able to send it in.
I tell you what, Michael, I remember editing, because that you're talking about the, so for those of you watching, in the concert, we have a song where all 5 of our choirs have joined together to sing this song as kind of a big celebration moment. And Michael's in that one. And I remember when I was editing, I edited yours, Bill's and Andy's voices, I think it was, at the same time, like together. And the 3 of you together sounded amazing. I was like, we have got to get these 3 together for a little kind of trio session. It was beautiful, and it was really lovely to be able to hear you sing, because obviously on being online, I haven't been able to hear you sing in that way. So that was a real treat for me as well.
Yeah. So it was a mixture of going through some of the lows and working them through, and just knowing there was a supportive group cheering you on and actually getting to the end,
Yeah.
Incredible. So honestly, you just wait until you hear this recording. It is, I keep saying it, but I keep listening to it and it makes me cry. It's so and it's not that I didn't expect it to be good, but I think given everything that everyone's been through this year, to then
Mm.
produce something that sounds like it does just feels like such a big win for 2020. It's like, we're actually not going to let everything that's happened ruin the fact that we can still sing and we can still make music and we can still be with each other, even if it is through a screen. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
We've got like we're like looking at our questions like,
Yeah.
what should we ask next? So Valerie, correct me if I'm wrong with the numbers here, but I found online that it said 10 million people worldwide are currently living with Parkinson's. Does that sound about right?
It could well be. I mean, there's 145,000 just in the
Wow.
UK. Every hour, 2 people are given that diagnosis.
Yeah.
Not literally. Nobody phones you at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell you you've got Parkinson's. Thank heavens, it's bad enough anyway. But that's the sort of rate. And it's the fastest growing neurological condition. This is not an accolade you want at all for the condition that you've got. But it's growing faster than normal age-related statistics would imply. I mean, some people say it's bound to be increasing because we're getting an older population. But 1 in 10, I think, are diagnosed before they're 40. So it's not just old people who get Parkinson's. It's not a part of aging put up with it. It's a serious condition in its own right. It's the second most common degenerative neurological condition after Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So it is a life-changing diagnosis because it does restrict you in so many ways. And anything you can do to slow that progression is, especially if it's something that has no bad side effects, you know, it's a side effect-free drug. It's brilliant. And and especially the way we do it with lots of actions, lots of crossing the middle line, so your brain has to work hard. Lots of facial expressions because your face can freeze with Parkinson's like any other part of you, but expressionless faces are very common. And that the breathing exercises. I went on a speech therapy course not long after I was diagnosed. So this seemed to be a logical continuation of speech therapy. And some of the exercises are the same. You know, big breath, go ah for as long as you can. And then having fun and laughing. You know, who can't laugh at, you know, Puppy's got a head like a ping pong ball. Or my dog can do the can better than my cat can. My daughter's fun. Difficult. Yeah, exactly. Everybody laughs. And laughter is so good. It's good for your face, it's good for your emotions. So yeah, if you anyone should have a go at a choir probably.
Yeah.
Not Parkinson's, you most certainly should.
Yeah.
Whether or not you think you can sing.
Yes.
Because it's not all about singing, it's about facial exercise, vocal exercise, and enjoyment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here, Valerie. Absolutely amazing. So there may be some people that will watch this or will have this video shared with them to encourage them. What would you, Michael, what would you say to someone who maybe has been living with Parkinson's for quite a while or has recently been diagnosed, maybe nervous to share that with anyone or to join a Parkinson's group or to join even something that is to do with using the voice, because for a lot of people, their voice can be really heavily affected. What would you say to someone who might be nervous or hasn't really even considered singing as a complementary therapy for Parkinson's?
I think on a serious note, on an overarching thing is that thing about many of us will literally lose our voices. And this is something that can help preserve that and help preserve our ability to sing as long as possible. And I would say, give it a go. No, give it several goes.
Yeah.
in the privacy of your own home and space, and just see how the experience takes you. See where it takes you. But I'll allow a few goes to just start to feel the benefit, and just remember that it is helping us retain our voice and retain our ability to sing as long as possible. And even to be on the group and be around if you can't sing anymore, and enjoy the social and the fact that people are singing around you, and the joy of that is part of it as well. So there's a lot of joy out of seeing the other people on the screen, waving their hands around, having fun. Yeah, just give it several goes. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I'll always remember one of our members comes, the dad comes with the daughter, and I remember the daughter once saying to me, you know, it can get really frustrating. Dad talks really quietly and really quickly, and it can be really difficult to keep a conversation going with him when you can't hear what he's saying. And she, I don't know if she remembers, but it really stood out to me that once she said, I struggle all the time having a conversation with Dad, but on the journey home from Parkinsong Voices, in that car journey home, we can actually have a conversation. He slows down his speech. He's projecting way better. I can hear what he's saying. And oh, it's given me tingles thinking about it. You know, that just to even just change just one car journey a week for, you know, a dad and his daughter is a really beautiful thing. And so singing, yeah, is that thing that we may not have, singing may not be the cure to Parkinson's, but it certainly helps slow the impact of it. And I don't know, like really increase quality of life. I love that. Thank you so much. Valerie, same question to you. What would you say to someone who might be kind of nervous or put off by the gospel element?
Give it a go. And you're right, that person that you were talking about who could be heard in the car on the way home, they now sometimes sing to each other so that they can get questions and answers across. So it's not just one journey where he's talking better, they're using singing as a communication tool. Oh. And that has made a great difference to both their lives, the daughters and their dads. So yes, if you're thinking of joining but you're a bit nervous, online is the time to start.
Yes.
Because you can be nervous in the privacy of your own room. Nobody's going to see what you're up to. But do give it a go, because it really is worth it.
Yeah.
I would never have believed the things I've done. It's built so much confidence, the abseil, the recording, videoing myself. I would never have dreamt if somebody had said to me 4 years ago I'd be doing that. I've done it. And I'm proud of it. So thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely amazing. I love it. There's something something popped to my mind then when you said that. I can't remember. It was something really beautiful and profound, but it'll have to wait. Oh yeah, that was it. When I think we said it in one of our previous MBM live chats, but yeah, now is the time to join. Like it really is, you know, like you were saying, it's not the same, and there are pros and cons. Obviously, when we can get back together, obviously we're going to want to do that and have that kind of human physical interaction with one another. But we had another member who, you know, their side effects to the drugs they were taking were particularly bad on one afternoon when we were to be singing together. And so they just, they let me know and just turned off their video. So they joined in with the session with their video off, you know, to feel more comfortable, to feel, you know, like people weren't looking. And then what I loved was halfway through the session, they turned their video back on. And it was just, for me, it was that reminder that sometimes we can feel like people are going to be looking at us, or we're going to be a distraction, or we don't feel at our best and don't want to share that part of us. But actually, once you're in that community and you're singing with everyone, you're interacting with everyone, you just realize that you are loved and valued exactly as you are, at your best and at your worst. You are accepted, you are valuable, and you are loved. And I thought that was a really powerful thing that they felt able to turn their video on. But there we go. Amazing. You guys, thank you so much for sharing your stories and your journeys with us. It is such a pleasure to be able to hear everything from your guys' perspective on it. And it is such a joy to have you both in Parkinsong Voices and as a part of our virtual Christmas concert.
Yeah. Oh, it's so exciting. I mean, I can't believe 9 days to go. It's just so excited. And thank you, yes, so much, because it is, for me especially, because I'm kind of outside a little bit, you know, I'm more removed than Emily obviously is. I don't know a lot of the choir members and things like that. To hear your stories, but to also hear how each individual choir works and impacts, you know, the members, it's just such a great thing, I think, to share with people, because like Valerie said at the start, you know, people might hear the word gospel or the word choir and they're like, no, you know, I'm not interested. But actually hearing the story behind choir and the story behind the community side of choir, I think is really important for those people that might be a bit like, I'm not so sure. So yeah, thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you guys in the concert next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, keep following our Instagram and Facebook pages, addressing anyone who's watching. And if today's kind of conversation has really sparked something in you or made you think of a loved one who is living with Parkinson's, please get in touch. So you can grab us on social media, or you can email me at emily@motivationbymusic.com, and I would love to hear from you and get you involved in this amazing choir, Parkinson Voices. So Michael, Valerie, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you everyone for watching online. So goodbye to Facebook. Bye, Facebook.